Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble!
Good evening, folks. Welcome to the Toon review on a glorious Easter Sunday, where we've just delivered a spanking to Leicester City in the last minute of the game. And I have to say, for those poor Leicester fans who basically sang nothing throughout the game about their own team, all they sang about was the atmosphere at St James's Park. So yeah, you heard the atmosphere. Where's our famous atmosphere? You heard it in the 95th minute. Ha ha! Big style you did. Listen, it wasn't the best game of football in the world. However, you know, Brendan Rodgers can cry in his cornflake milk tonight about, oh, Leicester had the best possession. We were the best. Listen, bottom line is we got 2 goals. Leicester City got 1. And that, for me, is all that counts. And Bruno is well, he wants to be a Newcastle United in his interview. It's plain and simple that he already is a legend in Newcastle United. The second goal, a Brazilian golden swan just swooping through the air and putting his head on it into the top corner. And, you know, the guy is just incredible. He really is. But there was others today that actually stood out as well, which are going to shock a few people when I do say who it is. Because, you know, a lot of these players have been given a rough ride throughout the season, etc. But this time around, guys, I'm not going to say anything negative about today. I'm not going to say anything about any negative performances. I thought, if I look at ASM, I thought, yeah, he did all right. He does have to work on his final ball, without a doubt. I watched him in the warm-up, though, right? And, you know, when they're sort of, you know, the end of the warm-up, they're starting to practice their shooting. And, you know, they offer little 1-2s with the trainers. And then he was curling them beautifully first time into the bottom corner. And it's just frustrating that he doesn't do it in a match. You know, he balloons it over the bar. But listen, he gave Leicester a hard time today because there was some good stuff from Maxi. But I feel like on both sides, we need to get crosses in, better crosses, because Chris Wood's isolated. You know, I thought he did okay today. He got injured eventually. He had to come off with a foot injury, I believe. But listen, all positives today. Danielle, how did you feel when Bruno stuck his nut on that? Bosh, get on!
Well, I don't think it helped the relations between me and my neighbours. Let's put it that way.
Probably not.
No, I'm not ashamed to say I cried twice during the game. I cried when it went to VAR, and I thought, "Are you kidding me? Like, why has he even said that to VAR? Like, why is this happening again?" And then, luckily, obviously,
yeah, he didn't have the ball at all, Schmeichel. No. I mean, it was not once did he have it.
Yeah, and then when Bruno went in, that was it. It was like, I was just crying like there was no tomorrow, like a little baby in my living room, because it just means so much. And I'm not bothered about the performance. I'm not bothered about it wasn't pretty or whatever. I don't care about that.
It's not all about that now, is it?
It's not. Look at where we were. Where we were. And that's why it means so much. Like, yeah, I mean, that never happens to us, ever. We're more likely in the past to have given away a goal in the last minute of the game.
I mean, Alex, you look at that picture there and you see that Schmeichel never has the ball.
Nah.
You know, but look at that crazy mullet-haired Turkish man in the background. Why has he got his hand up? You know, it'd be unbelief how that man grinds on me. But Soyuncu, again, he's got his hands up. He can't see what the hell's going on. But Alex, look at the way Bruno reacts. He's literally lying on the ground, but he does not give up on that ball.
Yeah, as somebody who's touted as a defensive midfielder and a ball winner, he's very goal hungry. He even for Brazil and for us, he just loves late runs into the box. He just constantly is trying to whip it in the back of the net. Yeah. Every match he plays, he always tries 2 or 3 shots a game. He loves a goal. I think he might start. You know, we weren't predicting too many goals from him, but he looks like he could grow into a bit more of a complete midfielder with the way he's playing. I don't see why not.
Well, remember when he signed, a few people in the media did tout him as a kind of Tiote Kabai player blended into one, that he can defend, but he can also go forward. And that is turning out to becoming to full fruition because Billy, he can go forward. He's confident bringing it forward. He's confident in front of goal, but he's also, my God, he was everywhere today. He was back defending in the 18-yard box.
He put in 11.6 kilometers today, which is the first place out of anybody on the pitch.
Well, when he had his interview with Sky, the stats that Sky put up, he was first for everything. So just incredible. I mean, Billy, I don't know what you were like watching it at home, but it was just, I don't know how Bruno's game came across on the camera, but he was just sensational. He was all over the pitch.
For the first 25 minutes, he was invisible to the naked eye, I guess.
The whole team was, to be honest. First,
but he wasn't on his own there. But once he got into the game and he played a fantastic pass over for Matt Target for a header. After that, he was just everywhere. He was in everything that we did. And we've said before, the man has got the full pack of tricks as a midfield player. He goes forward. He beats players. He's got strength. He's got skills, vision, imagination, hunger, desire. He's got every single quality a midfield player needs. Some superstar midfield players only have 2 or 3. He's got every single one. And God, it's immense that he plays for our club. It's immense. We haven't seen a player like this, maybe ever, as a midfield player.
Yeah.
Well said, Billy. Well said.
I agree. I think he's just an all-round class act. Kevin says, room for improvement. Let's not get carried away. Awesome bit fortunate tonight. Building blocks still getting put into place. The foundations look strong. Now let's build the new castle. Nobody's getting carried away, but listen.
I am.
Well, yes, Danielle always does, but that's fair enough. But what I mean to say is, if you look at us in the past where we've conceded goals and we've been conceding goals first, we've capitulated. But under Eddie Howe, we seem to have this belief that we're going to get back in the game. We went 1-0 down, and what I really loved from John Joe Shelby was when we went 1-0 down today, he was going round G and he was doing this with his hands, and he was like, keep your heads up. That is a captain, and credit to John Joe. He didn't have the greatest of football matches today, but listen, he did enough. For me, he did enough. But he was a leader on that pitch, and when we needed a leader, he stood up and was counted. And that I was so happy to see John Joe doing that. Very, very vocal. But I mean, Danielle, we times like that we need a skipper. Leicester City made a lot of changes today from the European game, but Leicester City played very well. They are a very good passing side. And I do think they miss Jamie Vardy. I think without a doubt they miss his just everything in front of goal, Jamie Vardy. Iheanacho came on, caused us a few little problems, it roughed them up a little bit, but again, we just stood firm.
Yeah, we did. We've got to remember where Leicester are. I mean, they came out of a European game on Thursday, and I just think it's a little bit of justice because I thought we could have got something out of Chelsea, definitely out of Everton, and they were a very good team. And I've got to say, although I predicted 3-1, I was worried when I seen the team sheet, and I thought, I know Maddison wasn't playing, he was on the bench, but still that team is so strong, and they've just got the ability to kind of switch their squad. Their depth in their squad is unreal. Something that we don't have. We don't have that level of depth.
Yeah, I would just like to say as well, by the way, good on James Maddison, because when he was warming up, there was a lot of fans giving him a bit of jib, but he was having jib back with them, and it was all good bantered, all good natured. And
I thought when he came on, it was funny, and he was laughing at the crowd booing him. I thought that was really funny.
Good on James Maddison. And I was saying to Michael, we were walking back to the car park, and I said to Michael that he's one of these players that you love to hate, but you'd love to have him in your own team, like a bit like Grealish.
100%.
But he was. Alex, you don't agree with that?
No, I wouldn't have him. I'd
Wow.
rather have somebody more like Bruno.
Well,
I'd rather have a
obviously,
clean, happy player. You know, we talked about this before. I'd rather bring in Kante's instead of Ramos's. That's just my personal preference.
Exactly.
Though, you know?
Everyone has one, but I just think, Maddison, just credit to him because he was having banter with the fans, and there was nothing, when it can get nasty and things like that. But the fans were laughing and joking with him as well, so it was good to see. Chippers wants to know how your humble pie and custard was today, Alec. Yes,
he's baked me 2 humble pies because he's baked me one on Twitter as well.
Well,
it was very tasty. Although I think my prediction was fairly close. To be fair, it was a tough fought 1-1 until the bitter end. Both I
listened to John Sinclair's show earlier on, and he said that maybe nobody deserved to win that game. That a draw probably would have been a fair result, which in a way is right, but in a way,
stats wise, our XG we were down as 2.13 goals, and Leicester were down as 0.62. So we won the XG. We won the actual match. We won the shots. We won the shots on target, and we got the 3 points.
So
for me,
Leicester passed it around well, but who cares? We got the 3 points, and that's what it's all about.
I don't care if we deserve to win or not. We won. That's it's all right.
I think we did, though.
You know what I mean?
People are just pick and choosing stats like possession to justify that they should have won.
Yeah.
So, XG suggests that we should have won. So, people are just pick and choosing stats to suit their narrative instead of just using a general,
Yeah.
They passed the ball well, but I could have played in goal for Newcastle United today. I wouldn't have got near the goal they scored, and I don't think Martin Dubravka got anything else to do, did he?
Yeah.
I've heard some people saying Dubravka should have maybe saved that first one, but if you look at it slowly, he was unsighted, and he still got as much on it as he could, and almost saved it. He wasn't. I can't blame Dubravka for that goal. I think it was poor defending from the corner. I think it was Maxi let it go past him. Listen.
Well, it was target lost Perez at the front post, and Maxi again standing in no man's land from a corner set piece. I think he needs to be told to do something because he's done that a few times. We just float.
I get you with that. One thing I was really disappointed about today was the booing that Perez got. I don't think he deserved to be booed.
I thought he got applauded when he came off, didn't he?
It was mixed. It was mixed, Alex, and I was really disappointed because Jose Perez has never said anything nasty about Newcastle United since he left. Not one. In fact, he's when he's tweeted about Newcastle, it's always been positive and how much he loves the club, and the club is in his heart forever. And all he was doing there was playing for Leicester City, trying to win a football match for Leicester. I don't understand the boos for him. And then when he came off, there was a few boos. Now it was Maddison coming on, so it could have been the fact that James Maddison was coming on the pitch because everybody hasn't forgotten more likely, what he did. And then as he got closer to the touchline, he started applauding the whole ground, and everyone started applauding. But when he had the ball, he was booed, and I don't quite get that. Maybe it's just because he's an ex-Newcastle player, and trying to put him off when he's got the ball. But I didn't get it. It was a little bit sad. But hey, fans are going to be fans, I guess. Dan says, evening all, tremendous display of goals from Bruno, already a hero. Kraft is getting so much better. We may as well talk about him now. Danielle, I mean, I've given that lad so much crap, but these last few weeks, I mean, I thought he was brilliant today. I really did.
Oh, he was fantastic.
If he gets caught out, his recovery is incredible. He I don't know whether this is something they've worked on in training with him or something like that, but his recovery, the way he manages to get back into position and then win the ball and clear the ball, he puts himself in harm's way. Hats off to him.
I think we should never underestimate the Eddie Howe effect in the training that he's having. He's done it with Joe. He's done it with Emil Kraft. I just think the change around in that player. I'm with you, Paul. Before this, I was don't play Kraft, don't play Kraft, don't pass to Kraft. But recently, maybe the past 4 or 5 weeks, he's just really stepped up, and I don't worry about it. I honestly don't worry about Emil Kraft anymore. What a good game he had today. Absolutely buzzing for him, and I think we didn't have Manquillo on the bench either, so it was just really good to see. And for me, I think I'm hopeful that we won't need to rush Trippier back now. I don't think there's any need to do that and risk a further injury or anything like that. I think Kraft's fine where he is, and long may it continue. Good luck to him because he's done really, really well.
I mean, Emil Kraft, I think Trippier is now back in. He's running and everything. He's expected to come back soon. But Billy, would you would you keep Kraft in the summer now that he's maybe proven a point to everybody that he is he's not a Swedish international for nothing. And the Swedes obviously think very highly of him, but he's come into his own. And he's done really well when he's been put in lately. And I've heard a lot of people say, well, we should keep him because he's ideal to sort of as a backup because he can play centre back as well. But, as a backup to Trippier. Now, I would never have said that a few weeks ago. I would always say Manquillo. But on the form side now, and the changes we've seen in Emil Kraft's game, do you think he's next in line to be that backup?
100%. Yeah. I mean, what he's got to his game, he's had the odd good game before, even when Steve Bruce in charge, but the vast majority of his games, he's been mistakes in him, errors strewn. Since Eddie Howe's come and he's had chances, he's not really put a foot wrong, and consistency is the name of the game with him now. He's been really good in the past kind of 6 or 7 games he's played, I think. And yeah, I'd absolutely have him as a backup to Kieran Trippier. And of course, you get the added bonus if you want to go 3 at the back, he can play as a right-sided centre half as well, like you say.
Yeah.
So yeah, without any shadow of a doubt.
Alex, how do you feel about Kraft now?
Yeah, I mean, his recent performances have been okay. He's done his job, but today was more than that. He had a good game.
Yeah.
It wasn't just he did his job. He actually had a very good game. He got 7 tackles, 3 interceptions, won 8 duels, took a card on purpose for a professional foul. His recovery was immense. He was in the right place.
And by the way, a lot of people were shouting at him for that foul, but did you see the spin Schmeichel put on that ball? The spin on that football was unbelievable. And Iheanacho knew what it was going to do because they've obviously worked on that in training. As soon as the ball hit the ground, it spun. It was like a Shane Warne cricket delivery. It just spun so far. And yeah, he took one for the team, and rightly so. Yeah,
definitely. And as for keeping him as a backup, well, realistically, with the Christmas World Cup, if Trippier gets in the England squad, Sweden aren't in the World Cup, so probably Kraft. If he can play like this, sort of fairly regularly, then yeah, why not? Definitely.
Yep. Now, nobody's performance for me was poor today. I know some people had a more quieter game, if you like, than the sort of standout game. But listen, if we can tick along with people having quieter games, not poor games, but quieter games, and we get results, then that's fine. Nobody's going to be outstanding every single game. Joe Linton was quiet today, but did the nasty things, if you like. He got stuck in, and he made life very difficult for the Leicester players. Still using his strength. I thought, the winning goal, Matt Targett has to take a lot of credit because had that gone out for a goal kick, game over. He takes the goal kick, the referee blows his whistle. But he kept that ball in play, played a lovely ball to Joe Willock, who, by the way, was superb, skipped around
didn't
that.
Just hoof it either, did he? He gave it to Willock on purpose.
And then Willock flicks it over the defender, go down the line, and the rest is history. I mean, Danielle, was there anybody that you thought had a poor game, or do you think it was just we were good today? We although Leicester had position, we kept our shape.
Yeah, I honestly don't think anyone had a particularly poor game. I saw good performances from Miggy. I even saw my opinion changed on Maxi today as well, actually, I've got to say, and I've got to be really honest with this.
Whoa, hang on. Whoa. I think we should bring up a serious news alert here because
it's changed.
The trolls listening. If you're listening, trolls, there you go.
Start cutting now.
Breaking news.
What you're going to do. Honestly, I felt for him a little bit today. I seen his head drop. And I just thought it's confidence. He just needs a goal. And when everyone was singing Alan St. Maximum, you could see it lift him. And I just thought, I feel really, now I get it. I haven't got it before, but now I get it. So I'm sorry, for previous times when I've said it, because I honestly thought he was just lazy. I just thought, but
he was a 25-year-old lad with the weight of a city on his shoulders.
Yeah,
let's be honest.
I get it now, Alex. I do.
Listen,
I do understand.
what I'd say about Maxi is that maybe the Premier Division teams have worked out his main his main skill, which is dribbling around a few and then cutting across the box. I think if he just tries or works on in training something a little bit different to surprise the opposition instead of the same thing, then I think he'll grow. He'll grow as a player, which I think Eddie Howe will obviously know that. He's not a stupid man. The coaching staff will work on it with him. And, you know, I just think he needs to work on that finishing, because 1 out of 10 times he catches the ball and he scores when he cuts inside. But his shooting was off again today, and which was disappointing. But some of the skill, some of the way he got round players today was absolutely fantastic.
I think he wants it, though. I think he's really trying. I honestly do
he was
believe
hungry,
that.
wasn't he? It just wasn't coming off.
And that's what I want to see. That's what I've been meaning to say for weeks on end. That's what I'd rather see from Maxi. See the hunger. If it doesn't come off, fair enough. But if we see the hunger from Maxi, rather than the theatrical Maxi where he gets tackled. I mean, there was once in the first half he was tackled, and it was a brilliant tackle, to be fair. And he stayed down, and you know, a lot of people shouting at him to get up. But after that, you know, he got into the game. He got his head up, and you're right, Danielle. The crowd lifted him. And that's what I want to see from Maxi, just the passion and the effort. Rather than roll around the floor complaining all the time, just get on with it. And to be fair, Billy, what he did was, you know, he kept trying. You know, one shot went over the bar, but he kept going.
Yep, the hunger was definitely there. He was looking for the ball, coming deep for it. And actually, he's more dangerous when he picks the ball up from deep, I think. Because he gets momentum up, it goes past 2 or 3 players, and then his confidence is up. Sometimes when he picks the ball up straight against his fullback, he's quite predictable, but I thought today some of the runs he made, especially from deep, phenomenal. The skills he was using.
Deep runs, though, isn't it? He doesn't get the Maxi we're complaining about is the Maxi that can't break teams down when we're all up the pitch.
Yeah, exactly.
The Maxi at his best is, like you said, he's breaking from deep. And at the moment, the way we're set up with Chris Wood, it goes to Maxi, and that's it. Maxi's got to beat 3, 4, 5. Occasionally, Joe Linton gets up with him if he's in the right place. We see Joe Linton sometimes support if he can, but most of the time he's just on his own. Not in the build-up play. Yeah, he needs to improve on that. But when he's doing the breaks from deep, like you said, that's where we miss Wilson, because there were so many times where they would just be running up the pitch together, doing pass left, through balls, and we got more goals from that. And it's not Wood's fault. It's just the type of player he is. Once he's flicked it on, he ain't catching them lot. That's it. It's Maxi on his own. So we'll have to see.
Tom says, lovely pre-match display for David Kelly, who was a great servant of the club and scored one of the most important goals in history. Yeah, it was. It was brilliant. That goal he scored against Leicester City that obviously kept us up. And, you know, we went on to have a brilliant season the season after, and David Kelly was a big part of that season as well. So it was great that somebody like David Kelly is, still etched in Newcastle United history for what he did while he was here. Because if we didn't beat Leicester in that game, we'd have been in the 3rd tier. And we don't know where this football club would have been then, because we were financially all over the place. We were in big trouble. And then the rest is history, as they say. But it was a fantastic... War flags are just superb, full stop. They're just absolutely superb.
It was incredible today.
Oh, you know what it is? I mean, I have to admit, there was a few little sort of phases of the game where the crowd were quiet. And, but I think it was that kind of game. You know, the game didn't really give us a lot of excitement. It wasn't that kind of game.
Quite exciting. I've heard a lot of that from people today. I thought it was great. The intensity, considering we've had a lot of illnesses and knocks, and Leicester played in Europe. In the second half, people got tired, but there was a good 30-40 minute period between the sort of in the first half and early second where the intensity was bonkers. It was so open. Everybody, the sprints were insane. I couldn't believe how intense it was. This was a battle from 10th to 14th place.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, it's interesting to get your take on it, because being in the ground, there was, for me, a couple of quiet points. And like I said, the Leicester fans seem to concentrate on that more than their own team. But it was hilarious at the end when we got the winning goal, because it was like the whole of the Leazes end just turned around and give them the finger. Say, there's our famous atmosphere, shove it up your ass. It was mental. But it's one of them football things that you think, karma's a beautiful thing sometimes.
Yeah, yes, it is. As Man United will find out in due course.
Indeed. You still haven't gotten over it.
No, and I'm not over it. I never will be.
I know you're not. I know. Peter Furbank, thanks for your £4.49 super chat. He says, we need to talk about how good Matty Targett is. Wow, what he did to set Willock away for our goal. Yeah, we've mentioned that. Brilliant defending. He's just... Billy's just one of those reliable defenders. He's probably a 7 out of 10 every game, or even higher. But he's just so confident.
Never ever lets us down, does he? He's always there when he's needed. He's always there when called upon. Little foots in here. His positional play is generally really good, and he gets forward and plays. Is a good pass with the ball also. And he helps Maxi, because Maxi doesn't really need to get back some of the time. Joe Linton can do his covering for him. Yep. Target, it's just a solid 7.5 8 out of 10 player every week. Mm-hmm. Got to get him signed up.
Yeah. Well, I think there's already an agreement in place. I genuinely believe that. Just a big shout out, guys. If you are enjoying tonight's show, please do hit that thumbs up button and let the YouTube algorithm know that something is good going on this channel. If you're new to the channel, you like what you see, please do consider subscribing. Hit the notification bell so you know when we upload or go live. And also, you can become a member of the Toon Review if you hit the join button just underneath the video, or the link to join is in the description. Just copy and paste that into your browser and it'll take you to the right place. And of course, you can donate to the channel if you do so wish by hitting the $ like Peter has just done, and it'll take you through to a payment method. So thank you in advance for that, for helping out the channel with your donations. It really does mean a lot. And we've just had one come in from John Joe. I don't think it's the John Joe, but I'm going to love watching Match of the Day tonight. 5 unbeaten at St James's Park. And if we win midweek, we will be in the top half of the Premier League. Interesting, Danielle, we're only 3 points off Leicester City.
Yeah. But
yet Eddie Howe is still saying we're not safe.
Well, you know what he's like.
Yeah,
it's never enough. It will never be enough.
Yeah.
In terms of Eddie Howe. But yeah, I think Crystal Palace is going to be a difficult game. But hey, look, Leicester beat Crystal Palace was it last weekend? So I think we've got a good chance. I think, you know what, we've got, when you have enough mathematically safe, I think we'll go for it, and I think we'll win, and I think we'll beat Norwich as well. So right, that's what I think.
Danielle, we just sort of doing the review of this game. Let's not go too far down the road here.
Look, I'm known for
she's off on one again, isn't she? She's like, wow. Have we had a little tipple this afternoon, Danielle, or are we?
No?
Are we looking forward to the Europa League draw next season?
Yeah, exactly. Billy, I don't know how it came across on the TV, but when that winning goal went in, my attention was taken to the bench, not where Bruno was running, because literally the whole squad, coaching staff, physios, everybody just piled onto the pitch. It was the celebrations were incredible, and then of course the picture in the dressing room, just says what a incredible togetherness we have at this football club, because even Kieran Trippier was in there. Here it is. Look at Joe Linton. A few months ago, before Eddie Howe, Joe Linton would be at the back hiding out the way somewhere. Centre there, and just look at the faces on everybody. Miggy nicked the flag, which your fans will be furious about. But the faces, just the togetherness, Billy, is incredible.
I think that's the main reason why we are where we are now. It's down to the kind of unity that the team have, the squad have amongst themselves, with the staff, and that's something that Eddie Howe brought to the club in abundance. It's something that wasn't there at all under the previous occupant of the manager's job. So for him to do that in a relatively short space of time, and to take us from where we were to where we are now in a relatively short space of time, phenomenal.
And even the players that didn't get on or weren't even in this whole squad, Dwight Gale's there with their faces happy as like there just seems to be a belief in a togetherness that even if, you didn't get on, you're still part of the squad, you're still part of the system. And it's just so great to see. Eddie Howe's always at the back, isn't he? He's always at the back. He doesn't want to be the centre of attention. He throws his coaching staff forward and all the players, and he stays at the back.
He's just a great man, isn't he? Just a great man.
Yep.
Great football coach and a great man with it.
Yep. I had to laugh when he was asked in his interview, are you safe now? No, we're not safe. And I'm like, Eddie Howe. But, there you go. Seattle Geordie says, good evening all from the home of the newest National Hockey League team, the Seattle Kraken. How are the lads? Indeed, Seattle Geordie, but they've had a rotten season, I'm afraid. Rangers, New York Rangers are heading for the Stanley Cup this year. What a team we have. I'm a New York Rangers ice hockey fan, by the way. Just thought I'd let everybody know that I'm not actually going off on crazy sunburnt. By the way, I'd like to apologise for my preview, my score prediction on Friday night. I think I had sunstroke. It's fair to say that I was glowing, and I took a lot of stick. Obviously, Billy and Alex, you weren't on the show to give me stick, which I'm pleased Alex wasn't, because he would have loved it. But the abuse I took, yes, I thought you might. But it seems to have turned into a nice, Danielle, pack it in.
At least the mods made sure we all saw anyway.
Well, of course. Yeah. And yeah. Mm-hmm. Anyway, David says Kraft was outstanding. Jim says, how are the lads? Bloody good evening, everyone. Bruno 39. Absolutely loved Bruno's post-match interview. How good is his English?
Oh, it's
Alex?
coming along so well.
Oh, it's incredible.
I mean, I am literally an English tutor. That is my job. So for that man to spend 3 months there, and he's obviously got to go to work every day and train and do it. That his priority is football and his health and fitness. So for him to be able to deliver that interview in 3 months, and it wasn't just about him articulating himself. He understood the interviewer as well in a full stadium.
Bill Willick, bless him, it was lush.
Yeah, I mean the emotion, the honesty, the sincerity, talking about being a club legend, the fact, and his English, and you could just see
that
it
little
all.
Kid's face when he threw his shirt to him. Oh my God, it was so lush. He put it straight on, didn't he? Just like, I want to wear it. It was
it's dreamland. I mean, if that's the kind of guy we can get here when we're in 19th position, then bring on the summer.
Yeah. Luke makes a good point here. Is if the season would have started on the 1st of January, we'd be third. I mean, that is incredible. It just says what a job Eddie Howe's done, really. I mean, these clowns that, after the defeat against Spurs or Eddie out, all of this crap. This guy, he won't get it, but, from a point of view of just a football and comeback, this man should be manager of the season. I have got no doubts in my mind about it. Where he's took this club, where he took over, we were down and out. Every single pundit in the land was saying Newcastle are relegated. Forget about it. They're not getting out this trouble. And now we could end up finishing at the top half of the season after being bottom at Christmas. I mean, Alex, that is something else.
Yeah, they can't give it to anybody else. I mean, if West Ham had have continued their run and maybe got top four, or then maybe Moyes is in with a shout. But if that doesn't happen, I can't see how it goes to anybody else. He's weathered the storm. We got the massive winning streak. You've seen what he's done to the club in terms of atmosphere, playing style, intensity, bring players back from the dead, essentially. And on top of that, we had a wobble with 3 losses, and he steadied the ship again. This is because we didn't have a loss streak under him. Like, the first loss streak was kind of just a continuation of what we had under Bruce. So that 3 loss streak was his first own personal wobble. And they dealt with it very well as a set of coaching staff and him himself.
Indeed.
And the players did. And we've come back
100%.
from it with 2 wins.
Yeah.
And we're pretty much safe. I mean, Burnley would need 13 points from 7 games, and for us to get nada for the rest of the season.
Not happening.
So he's got to get it, really. He's just got to get. There's no other contenders.
Yeah. Richard P, thank you very much for your €20 super chat, my man. He says, been watching your channel since the end of last year. Hats off to you, Paul, Danielle, and Alex for all your efforts. Well, Billy now as well is on his Harley. Looking forward to continuing this new chapter in NUFC's history with you guys. All the best. Thanks very much, Richard. We've also got a £5 super chat from David Greenwell. There's no comment on there, just a £5 super chat. So thank you for your kindness on that. Stephen says police have arrested Paul Merson for impersonating a football pundit. Indeed. Good evening, Susan. Just one thing. I'm not going to give them any highlights here or anything like that, or airtime. But we were hit on the Facebook group by some horrible trolls again on Friday. However, it's dealt with now. It's sorted. It's in the hands with the right people. But I'd just like to personally say on the show to Susan, she's my absolute rock. I love her with all my heart. She knows I do, and she stood by me through all this trolling on the internet. And she's just a wonderful woman. And I'm proud to be engaged to her. And just thank you for standing by me. And also thank you to, Danielle, Alex, Billy, the mods, everybody else and all the subscribers who have commented that who saw it. It's gone now. But again, the support has been incredible. These people will never win. It has rocked me. It rocked my confidence. I was pretty down yesterday, but Danielle, I spoke to you a lot on Saturday, and just thank you again.
No probs, bro. No probs.
Just to have that, sister I never had, and it's just so nice.
Just needed the magic hat. That's what you need.
I know. I did. But the Susan who has just stood as a rock for me. She is just the most remarkable person you'd ever want to spend your life with. So I love you. Anyway,
can you not? I'm already emotional today. Can you not?
I know you
start
are.
crying again.
Yeah. John Joe, there's another £4.49 super chat coming. So I'm not whether you've hit that twice because it's the same comment. But never mind. We'll move on. Thank you. Ronald says, what was Statman's prediction for the match? Yes, Alex, would you like to tell us again what you predicted on the preview show? Billy, Danielle, can you remember what he said? Or I was
2-1.
2-1.
1-2.
1-2.
Yeah, I thought Leicester
would win. Who did he say? I'm sure he said that Leicester were going to win the game. Yeah, Billy, can you remember?
It was the right prediction. It was just the wrong way around. It was close.
Really close, really. It was, yeah.
Yeah. John Joe has sent in another £4.49 super chat. Thank you very much. And he's put in this one. Danielle, question for you. Which Brazilian do you prefer? Hang on a minute. I'll finish that sentence because that sounds rude. I stopped at the wrong time there. I do apologise.
That was a close shave, Paul.
Yeah, I stopped at the wrong time. I just realised that. Anyway, I'll read that again in a more efficient way. Danielle, a question for you. Which Brazilian do you prefer, Joe Linton or Bruno?
Oh.
And is this not the greatest ever escape? How are the Danielle?
Absolutely. The greatest escape of all time.
Indeed.
How can I pick? Because, Bruno is the one, obviously. But Big Joe, I've just got so much love for the man.
I mean, the thing is, this picture just sums these two up. I mean,
I just love them so much.
I mean,
I honestly do. The
Brazilian jive or whatever they like to call it. I mean,
little samba or something, wasn't it?
I mean, it wasn't in sync, bless them. I think they've got to try and learn that a bit better to be in sync. But there was some serious hip movements going on.
Well, Joe's got to learn it for when he's in the Brazil squad, hasn't he?
That's very true. That's very
Good
true.
Good point, Alex.
Yes. Billy, I think if me and you tried those hip movements these days, I think we'd need them replaced rather quickly, mate.
You speak for yourself.
Go on, Billy.
You're normally on that. Oh, he's away. Bloody hell. You know, he looks like one of them things you find in New York. You know, them statue things. I can't get... Yeah, that's it. Those statue things. I explain things perfectly, don't I? Yeah. Toon Dave says, indeed, evening all you beautiful Geordies. What a day and what a result. Bruno is a legend already and gets us, the club, the supporters, and what it means to St. James's. Yeah.
I'm just hoping that the English, I'm just hoping the English tutor that he has just only taught him how to count to 100. Because I want to see him play 500 times first, not 100.
Yeah,
well,
definitely.
He went to say 100 million and then changed it to 100. So I don't know where his scale is, but somewhere in the middle, Bruno.
Truls says Brendan Rodgers was class in the post-match interview. I I thought
It sounds
He was
rapey to
very
me.
I thought he was a bit
complimentary to us
bitter
in the second
myself.
half, but the first comments were a bit salty. Yeah.
Interesting how people can sort of have different opinions on. Sorry?
Sprinkle it.
She sprinkled it on me head though.
Oh, the salt. Yes.
Yeah.
Salt on your steak. There you go. We have a $10 super chat coming in from Seattle Geordie. Thank you very much. Hi, man. Hey, man. You have me in tears. Susan seems like a lovely lass. Well, she's not just lovely. She's incredible.
She's the best.
Yes, she is. Even Bungle Bunce would approve. Great team. The Toon Review. Thank you, Seattle Geordie. I'd love to know what his or her first name is. I mean, I'm calling them Seattle Geordie. I mean, that's probably the nickname anyway. Not surprised. It's simple. They had the chance to spend a shade under 40 million on Bruno. Yeah, they're talking about. I mean, how would Arsenal feel at the minute? Do you think, Alex? Knowing that, we got
very good because they keep losing, don't they? Which is
they're on a rotten run at the minute, definitely.
I mean, this is essentially a warning to those sort of Europa League pushing teams in your West Hams and your Arsenals, that we can potentially sign people on. If we've got the same shopping list, it doesn't mean we're not going to get them, because
Correct.
as Bruno's seen, I think was it Redknapp who said this? Jamie Redknapp said this after the game. He was talking to Kieran Dyer on some panel show about it doesn't matter if you're in Europe or not. If you're watching that as a player and watching Bruno's journey and the goal and the stadium and the love and the interview, you want to go play there. You want to go and experience that. It doesn't matter what you've got on offer.
Yeah,
that is what you play football for at the end of the day if you're into it.
Yeah.
So and we will get to Europe sooner rather than later. So if we can offer that, that's special. You can't find that in many places.
So we'll send you as a motivational speaker for Amanda, and we'll just send Danielle with the checkbook. There we've got it sorted. The world-class players coming in the summer, without a doubt. Ian says, shout out to Alex for the watch along with the Leicester fan, because you went on with Chris, didn't you?
Did you? I didn't know that.
He said, man held a poker face when Bruno scored the win.
Oh, that was difficult. That's so difficult.
I'm sorry, but I'd have
had me top off me, waving me shirt round.
Yeah, Danielle's boobs would have been everywhere. I would have been windmilling everywhere. Come on. I mean, you got on the Leicester City channel, Alex. I mean, just go for it, man.
I think some of the Leicester City fans were a little bit frustrated by the clock because we scored on 94 minutes and 20-odd seconds, and a few of them pointed out the additional 20-odd seconds, which... Fair enough, but I feel like we've been shafted by that the other way a couple of times this season. So,
listen, they weren't ever going to get an equaliser, so that's just again. What were you sprinkling before, Danielle? That lovely white salt all over that, well done.
Over the course of the 90 minutes, I felt like, did we deserve 2-1? Maybe, maybe not. But I felt like we were the better team over 90 minutes. We had more shots on target, more shots, better quality chances. We had 2 big chances missed, and they didn't. And we had better XG. I felt like it was fair. I'd have taken the 1-1, but it was a great goal. And they, at the end of the day, they got punished. We talked about Tielemans in the preview. He couldn't.
There he goes again
with Willock. He couldn't keep up with Willock.
Tielemans.
And credit
he
to
was trying
Willock.
to foul him, wasn't he? He was trying to foul him.
He was, yeah. And credit to Willock. We mentioned this in the preview that Willock, when he comes on as a sub, those legs that he's got really do annoy the opposition because he's I think somebody described it earlier as he's deceivingly quick on those legs. He's got a good turn of pace, and they couldn't bring him down. And the clipped ball, even though it was a deflection, yeah, we deserved it. We really did. They should have dealt with us better. They were sloppy. They went too far.
I think Brendan Rodgers was right when he made the comment about our winning goal. They lost a bit of discipline. They went too far forward and they got caught out. So there was no saltiness.
We called it yesterday.
No.
A few days ago, we called it that they're right back and Tielemans in the right side. We called that was where they were going to get potentially hurt.
He's a good player, Tielemans. Though he's a very good footballer.
He's been poor recently though. PSV was poor. The Leicester fans are not happy with him at all this season.
Well, I'd have him.
They want him gone.
I'd take him quite nicely. I think he's slotted into our team very nicely.
He's rumoured to be linked with Man United, apparently.
Oh, let's just forget about them bunch of muppets down the road.
Don't start us off on
don't mention that in front of Danielle. She's very bitter about Manchester United. Only downside today, says Nathan, was there was no watch along to hear Paul's reaction to the winner. I have no idea what I would have come out with commentating on that. Maybe he would have actually been taken off the air. There is a very strong possibility of that happening, to be fair. My composure would have gone out of the window, completely out of the window.
Like a swan.
Well, I would have said more than a swan. Trust me, that just came to my mind when I was doing the review sitting in the car. The Brazilian swan. But my God, I may have been in hospital. God knows. I mean, my blood pressure could have gone mental.
The big right, a swan wearing a Brazil shirt now. Yes.
The big right hand says, Paul, I seen you stood next to Eddie, and my God, you are a unit. Evening panel. Well, thank you. Yeah, you should have come and said hello. Munch says, what a result. Bruno is just simply different gravy. He's different gravy. And a big shout out to Kraft. I think he had his best performance in the Newcastle shirt today. And on top of it, Rangers beating Celtic. Yes, Rangers did beat Celtic. Good evening, John Sinclair. How are you this evening? Definitely a day of mixed emotions for Mr. Sinclair, I think. Bless him. But, you know, they can't win everything. We are United says, apart from the goals and full time, the atmosphere was flat. I don't think it was flat. I just think there was a few little sort of
flat spots, definitely.
Flat spots, yeah. Like a Formula One car, you know, when they get a little flat spot on the tyre, but it recovers, you know what I mean? They get it changed and it gets back to normal.
That's how the game went. We allowed them to play in areas that weren't going to hurt us. Because, as I say, they didn't really cause any trouble defensively, really. They let the ball in areas that were never going to kind of cause any trouble. A bit like Brighton and Albion did in the week.
But listen, you're going to get games like that. And, you know, at football matches, you're not going to get the fans like singing all the time. And you know, when it's a game like that, it's very difficult. You need something to happen on the pitch to get you going. And Leicester City fans, you want to complain about atmosphere, then at the King Power, we were louder than you lot when you scored goals. We were celebrating your goals more than you because we took it in good. Well, we were furious with the performance, but listen, no, we still wanted to have a good time. So we were dancing around to your goal-scoring music, and it only comes across as an atmosphere at the King Power Stadium because the commentary box there is right next to where your little drummer sits, and that's why it comes across as loud on the telly. The rest of the King Power was as quiet as a morgue. So don't come to us about atmosphere.
They'll never be us. They'll never be us.
No, listen, 52,100 odd on an Easter Sunday. When was last time Leicester City got 52,000? You can't. Anyway,
I mean, we filled the stadium with third round FA Cup, didn't we?
Yes, we did against Cambridge United. Thank you for reminding me, Alex. So don't come at us, Leicester fans, about the atmosphere. Anyway,
yeah,
you know what it is? I do like Leicester City, though. I've always said that, and the way they've. No, on a serious note, I do, because I think, you know, I like the way they've built their club up, and I think they're good to you know, look at and see how they built their empire up, you know, with bless them, the chairman that passed away, what he did for the club, and now what his family are doing for the club. So, you know, I do have a lot of respect for Leicester City, but talking about our atmosphere, bang out of order. Michael Marsden, thank you for your $44.99 super chat, mate. I just blows me away every time. And I'd just like to say that Michael has bought a new camera for the channel today. I know he doesn't want any airs or graces, but he's bought the new Sony ZV-1 for me, so I can now vlog properly. You know, when we go to matches and things like that, it's easy just to switch on the microphone, everything like that. And it's an absolutely brilliant camera, which is just an incredible gesture from Michael. So, you know, when I met him in the car back today, he handed me the camera. I went to shake his hand and say, thank you very much. He says, I don't want any thanks. I just love the channel and I love doing what I can for the channel. So, Michael, again, thank you so much, mate. And honestly, your generosity is is incredible, and he's like you said, Danielle. He's such a lovely man to go with it.
Oh, he's lush.
But
Top
he's a big part of this channel behind the scenes. Not many people know that, but he is. He's a big part of it.
I can shake his hand if I can make the Arsenal game. I'll say thank you.
Exactly, but he doesn't like to be in the spotlight or
He
anything
doesn't
like
like
that.
any
He just doesn't like the fuss. He just does what he can for the channel, and he's a legend for doing that. But
Really kind.
he's also one of my good friends, and I'm pleased that I can call him that. So thank you, Michael. Another £4.49 super chat from John Joe again, saying John Sinclair makes more noise than the whole of the Leicester fans, and he's a part-time fan. Yeah, I haven't watched his watch along yet to see his reaction to the win and goal. But I will.
It's class.
Yeah, I can imagine. Just incredible. Caitlin and Nick, not sure which one it is, but great result. Just wish I was there instead of watching it on telly. And I have to say, Kraft played great today. Obviously, Bruno man of the match, but had to say Kraft was top notch. Well, we'll see when we come to the player ratings later on. Alex, do you have any graphics for us today, or?
Well, I've got the old tactical view that we had for the preview.
Would anyone like to see the tactical view of how the game went?
Yes, why not?
If I can find where it is. It is here.
I know you've normally got about 25 tabs open on your computer, Alex. So,
where am I?
While he's doing that, Ryan says, I want Guimaraes and Guimaraes. Guimaraes. Is that right, Alex? Guimaraes?
Guimaraes, yeah. That'll do.
And Joe Linton to teach me how to dance. You can use that big pink ball in your cellar, Ryan. We'll not get into that. Will says, looking at the table, 10th is a real possibility. What's your take, Alex, from your greatest fan?
Yeah, I mean, let's not forget we do have Liverpool and City in the upcoming fixtures. We have got Palace and Norwich to play, so we've got some opportunities for more realistic points in the near future. But there are some hard games coming up.
Indeed.
And ultimately, even if Burnley have some sort of resurrected form, we've still got to play them. So it's all in our hands. And it depends on how the teams around us do. But, I mean, I looked at the form table what the table looks like for 2022. We're actually second if you look at the year table, which is bonkers. So we are not bad this year. So can we see the graph okay?
Perfectly, my man. Yeah.
So this isn't how it ended up lining up, because obviously Maddison didn't end up playing. Who was the other player? Mendy played, and Perez, of course, who I didn't even make a thing for because I just didn't think he would play. So let's whack Perez on there.
Apologies, Iosi.
So it tended to look a lot more like a 4. Was it a 4-1-4-1? It looked a bit more like that at times, with Mendy sitting deep for Leicester. Perez quite often got very bullied by Target. Target had him in his back pocket for most of that game. Target won 8 out of 9 duels, and was very solid. Apart from losing him at the front post for the goal, Perez wasn't really much of a threat for for the majority of the game, which is probably why he was the first.
He did play one lovely ball in the second half, right across the 6-yard box, which Lookman for some reason tried to control it with his left foot, and it went out for a goal kick. I don't know what Lookman was doing with that, but it was a lovely ball. It was just waiting for somebody to run on and smash it home, really.
Yeah, I mean Perez was the most creative of all of them. They were quite poor creatively. They kept trying this really weird flat ball where they would Daka would try and stand on Burn or Shah, and they'd play a long flat ball and try and get them in a one-on-one. And sometimes it would be Daka would drag someone out, and they would try the same ball to Lookman as well and try and look for a one-on-one. They tried it 4 or 5 times, and it just wasn't happening because our centre-backs were very, very solid. Burn was doing his job well. It actually happened in the incident where Burn and Dubravka got clattered. They clattered into each other. It was actually one of the first times they tried that long ball. Burn, fortunately, was okay. He looked like he hurt his collarbone or something. It was originally quite scary because the medical staff didn't want him to move.
I was a bit worried about him, but he seemed to recover quickly.
Creatively, they really struggled. They brought on Maddison to try... if I can scroll down slightly. They brought on Maddison, but for some reason they weren't like dominating one side and switching over. They weren't doing what they did against PSV. I think they were just a bit flat. They didn't really have a lot of options. They're probably the best player for me was Dewsbury Hall, who was quite dangerous, sort of running into these areas for large parts of the game. He does look like a very, very good player. He's sort of Emile Smith Rowe kind of build, very, very sort of terrier-like all over the place. But I wasn't too scared of them at all for most of the game. Centre-backs weren't particularly great. Obviously, Amati got a very early yellow card and had to play safe.
40 seconds. I mean, that was quick. I mean, it was a terrible tackle, to be fair. But that's one of the quickest yellow cards I've ever seen.
It was indeed. And as for, I mean, if we look at ASM, there were a few times where Wood did a couple of flick-ons and ASM would be here. Joe Linton was probably in another phase. Bruno was out here. And sometimes Maxi would just kind of get stuck and the pitch should look a bit like that. And you just think to him, well, what's he going to do on the break, bless him? Yep. There's not a lot he can do there. He runs to about here. He waits for help, and if it doesn't come, he has a shot.
But the ground that Bruno made up for that winning goal was incredible.
For that goal, it was very impressive. If we bring Willock on and we take Maxi off, which was, I know this isn't all of the players who Wood was off. Who came on? It was Murphy. And who was the other player? We had Dwight Gale came on for...
Yep.
Almiron? No. Almiron? Who came
Maxi.
off?
Come on for Maxi, didn't he?
Yeah, he came on for Maxi at the end, yeah.
So who stayed on? Who have I done wrong? Wood came off, Maxi came off, and that was it, was it?
And Almiron came off as well.
And Almiron came off. Okay, well, let's pretend that Wilson is Gale for this situation. People didn't credit Gale, but obviously Gale actually played a part because somebody had to track him.
The trackers. Yeah, I saw that.
So somebody did have to track him for the goal. And Bruno did make a very late run into the box. Fortunately, the ball did clip onto a centre-back and sort of bobble up, and Bruno got to it. So people played their roles quite well, even though Murphy didn't do much. It was just the threat of the counter-attack. We had fresh legs in Willock and Murphy. Gale was a willing runner, and Bruno with his late burst into the box. We just did well. I don't think Leicester handled us very well at all. I thought their midfield was poor. I think they should have started Maddison. They looked very flat without him. They weren't creative. They missed Vardy, as you said earlier, Paul.
And to be honest, I mean, I think they've got different priorities now, Leicester City. I think they're going for Europe. We were talking about that earlier today. I think they genuinely feel like they can can do it. Listen, I hope they do. Because I think the way it's going, I think the English clubs could win all the European competitions this season, which would be incredible. So yeah,
but credit's due. 22 players, and Alex only got one wrong on that original graphic, which is fantastic, isn't it?
Brilliant.
Yeah, I mean that's the.
I thought Barnes would start and he didn't. It was Lookman that started instead. I honestly thought they would start Barnes and Maddison. I think they would have had a better game against us if they had have started those two. But it's rotation, that's what happens when you play in European competitions.
Yep, he's got no choice really.
I feel like Shelvey deserves a good shout. For his leadership, we've already talked about, but he didn't get the space to play his long ball game today. He only got 2 long balls because we didn't have much of the ball, and he was trying some outrageous first time through balls early on in the first half. Whenever he got the ball, he would try and find a runner and just ping it long. He was trying to release people.
Shelvey had a different game today. I think he had a different duty.
Yeah, but he adapted. He
led by example as well. Yeah, he was
disciplined. He was very disciplined.
Disciplined, tackles going in, but he was very vocal as captain, which is what I want to see. Another £4.49 from John Joe. Thank you very much. He says, did you see Joe Linton pretend to take a shot and he kicked the ball in the crowd where he was trying to hit a troll he spotted off the channel? Ken says, sorry, Paul, can't agree with you about Chris Wood. I thought he was anonymous, but Bruno just gets better and better. And a huge shout out to Emil Kraft, who probably had his best game for us.
I have one point about that. We lost the graphic, but Almiron got 0 crosses. Maxi got 0 crosses. Target got 1 cross. So I kind of feel sorry for him as a target man. You've got to look at the bigger picture.
He didn't get any service today.
No.
I do have one point about Chris Wood.
Go on.
Every centre forward in history that's been any good When they're in the box, they make the runs to the near post. Chris Wood does the opposite. He goes to the far post. More chance of the ball getting cut out, and hence why he doesn't get a lot of service.
Yeah,
He did it once. He did it once today as well.
Yeah, he needs to try and mix it up a little bit, doesn't he? Just rather than go to the same place all the time. But listen, it is what it is.
Carson, what do you think about the injury, by the way? Because I didn't realise he'd gone off with a little knock.
I didn't until after the game.
Well, he came on after the match and he didn't have his boot on. He was on ice. I think it happened in the first half because I noticed him limping after a challenge. But hopefully, it's nothing serious.
Might get to start at Norwich? ?
Or against Crystal Palace, his old team.
Or Crystal Palace, indeed. Interesting.
Could fire him up. Russ says, good evening to all you happy Geordies. Ab says, can we get Bruno, Willock, J7 and Shelby in this team altogether? I don't think we can. Certainly not the way Eddie plays.
Paul will play a diamond again.
Yeah. False 9 with Willock is anyway, I can see.
Yeah. I thought Willock was actually going to be the false 9 when he came on today.
That's what we thought. We thought that.
So
it just proves how much we don't know. Terry Gorman, thanks for your £6.10 super chat. It's not like we've ever had them before, but thank you for your generosity, my man. He says to keep this fine on the tyne, feeling to keep going. Keep the fine on the tyne. I like that, fine on the tyne. It's like a fine wine on the tyne, which Daniela
you
like.
You love a good fine, don't you?
Yeah. I like a good wine and you like a good wine.
These folks take their toll in the end, don't they?
Yeah, shut up, Billy. It's your fault I got the bloody thing in the first place. We'll not go into that. John says, folks, team played well. Maxi was okay, but wasteful at times. Bruno, brilliant. Rest of the team, including Kraft, played out of their skins. Come on, Toon. Caitlin and Nick said that best Bruno in the Premier League plays for us.
Absolutely.
There's no doubt in my mind about that. Bruno at Man United, he's a decent player, but this guy seems to be a level above. And I
text that to my Man United friends exactly.
Did you really?
I put War Bruno is better than your Bruno.
That's very childish, Alex, but I love it.
No, it's not compared to what they did to us in January. Now
that's a good point. Yes. Yeah, Danielle, can you remember what they did?
I'm still angry about it, and it's always them, all the time. And I'm not having it this summer. Not this summer. No.
We don't need to deal with them. We can just take.
We can deal with everyone else.
Any business with them, whether it's incoming or outgoing, not doing it.
You get nothing from us, Manchester United.
Nothing.
Christopher says, was just saying I was happy with the point, then bang, get in, Bruno, world class. What you need to say, Christopher, is bosh, get in. That's what we say on this channel. It's bosh, not bang, we bosh. Tom says, has there ever been a greater resurrection story than Newcastle United? Probably not.
No.
Topical, though, isn't it?
Listen.
Being Easter Sunday and all that.
Correct.
Well, yes. The good Lord did rise on the third day. Just like to point that out to all.
So did my good Lord today after that goal winning. Sorry, 4 horsemen tread territory. I forgot where I was for a moment.
Look, you're getting the disapproval. You're getting the disapproving smile from Alex. He does that with me all the time. When he doesn't agree, when we start going off track,
he always puts smile be disapproving.
He always does that. He puts a smile as if to say, "That's not really funny. I'm smiling, but you're just an idiot."
Disgrace.
So you do pick up them signals from Alex. He's a class poker player, by the way. Thomas says, I believe Amazon is doing a series on us after the takeover. They've got some material now, eh? Yes, they have. It would be incredible. Can you post link to join the channel? It's in the description below. If you go down the description, halfway down, you'll see the link. Just copy it and paste it into your browser. Bob's your uncle. Annie's your fan. Fanny's your aunt. More like Annie's your fan, guys. Have you ever heard anything like that in your life? I bet you haven't. Happy Easter, everybody. Johnny says, Bruno, only a Toon player to score a brace this season. The guy's a superstar. So lucky to have him.
Yes.
Roy says, hi, guys and girls. Yet another fantastic game. Every man to a T played their part, showing togetherness in abundance. Indeed, they did, Roy. No doubt about that. Wagner says, 2 Bruno caliber players and we can reach for the top 4. What about that Kraft tackle in the box? Yeah, indeed. He's
filthy.
it was just that is just what he's picking up. He's picking up.
Yes.
Ian says, my God, 95 minutes and Bruno rose like a salmon to stick his nut on it. The first header of his career, apparently. I lost my tiny little mind. Yeah, it was. He admitted that his first ever headed goal, which, credit to him. But I disagree with you saying he rose like a salmon. He flew like a swan, like a golden Brazilian swan. Carefully brought into the stadium on a golden camel and just shot out of a golden shotgun straight into the 18-yard box. Bosh gets in, and then he runs off and does a striptease for all the ladies. So there you go. It couldn't have been a better goal, to be honest. Tangy says, Bruno, he is the full Monty. He can leave his magic hat on. Well, apparently he's a hit with the ladies, so maybe he can take his magic hat off. I don't know. Danielle, I mean,
To be fair, I thought he was going to take his shorts off at one point.
I did as well.
Yeah, because he sort of threw his shirt off and then he put his hands on his shorts. I think, what's he doing? I mean, I thought it was, I thought Mika was going to do that a few years back, and then
that's why you're so cheap.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he just sort of hello, ladies. There you go. Bruno is the second coming of Rob Lee. Greatest sign in the club's history. Interesting take that. Keith, thank you for your $20 super chat. Very good contributor to the channel is Keith. He says it looked like total pandemonium in that place. What an ending. It was. Coming out the ground was just unbelievable again. I mean, it was on a, there's never a greater time, Danielle, to score a goal than the last kick of the game.
Nah, honestly, no, I didn't expect it. I didn't see it. But I think it was Joe Linton fouled just before or during the run, because Lee was going, it's a foul, and I was just going, shut up, play on, it's play on, definitely play on.
Is that your Lee there making that comment? Or is that another Lee?
No.
This Lee says, I'm with Danielle. I'm getting carried away and not ashamed to admit it. After 14 years in the doldrums, I'm loving every minute of this. He's right, though.
You wouldn't agree with it. You wouldn't agree with us. So,
yeah, fair enough. Imagine when Trippier is back too. He has such an incredible influence on the whole team from right back. Peter says, I could feel your absolute joy in your instant reaction post after the match. Very, very infectious, Paul. Thank you very much. It's good that I'm infectious for something. I
was just going to say, but I'm not. It doesn't matter.
No, I don't think you should, Danielle. Just for once, keep it in. The Cloud, EIO, up the Premier League we go. Great result today. 3 points off 9th. Bruno is the man. He's the man. Exciting prospect, thinking what we can do next season with 3 or 4 more players of Bruno's quality. Did you remember the midget gems, Paul? No. I didn't even remember my season ticket today.
Oh, what you like?
I had to go to the box office and get a paper one for £2.50. But thank you for the box office for being so understanding. All I had was my little bank card. I left my wallet at home with everything else in it. So yeah, I had to show that. I even took Michael into the box office with us in case they didn't believe who I was, and Michael could maybe just vouch for me. But it didn't need to be done. I just give them my bank card and they said, okay, yeah, we'll give you a paper one for £2.50. So I didn't mind paying that because it was my own stupid fault, because I've got a mind like a sieve at the minute. So there you go. Matthew said he'd definitely have James Maddison. Bruno is hands down the best midfielder I've ever seen play at this club, and he's only played 11 games. Yeah, he's starting to get that way. Adit says, Paul, please, StreamYard. I've no idea what that means, but this is StreamYard. But anyone else want to take a guess at what that means?
Does he think it's a fan forum maybe, and he wants a link?
I'm not sure.
Maybe.
This isn't the fan forum, unfortunately. Adit, yeah. This is the 4 hosts. But hey ho. John Joe sent in yet another £4.49 super chat. Absolute legend, John Joe. Thank you so much. He says no one deserves happiness than us Geordies to be the amount of despair and sadness we have had with the fat cockney bar steward. It's now our time. Love that feel good factor. Indeed, John Joe. That is a comment of the day. Definitely.
Absolutely.
To explain this in the watch along today, that people have got to understand that we hadn't won a game until we got to Burnley. We've had a weird season. Like we want to be happy. It was a tough old slog in that first half of the season. So it's nice. It's nice to get wins.
Don't worry. Seattle Jody says, what do you think of their player Dewsbury Hall? Looked cracking. He's a good player, him. He's come through the ranks, broke into the Leicester team. I believe he got a few games in the Cup and then Europe, and he really impressed Brendan Rodgers, and he's been quite the mainstay since. Looks a very, very good player with a big, big future. So, credit to him for breaking through. Wagner says, we created the better chances. Leicester only had more possession. I'd agree with that.
Yeah.
Eddie House Shithouse Mag says Tom. Unbelievable. We were just about down in January. I know it's an incredible turnaround.
What a story. What a story.
It is.
We still haven't had any everybody that said we were definitely down. All of those people have disappeared or haven't owned up to it. There was a lot. There were thousands of people saying we were down.
Yeah, indeed. There's a lot of people in the chat thinking, well, there's a booze not for Maddison when we're talking about the booze. Yes, it could have been that when the sub was made, but when Perez had the ball, there was booing. So, it was
You
going on.
couldn't really pick that up on the TV. I didn't really notice it.
No, it's a bit like Leicester City's football ground when you try and get an atmosphere. It's just because I'm not getting into that. Roy, good evening out in Qatar. Still buzzing. Had Bruno on my fantasy team. Almiron was good and getting close to what he was a few years ago. ASM on the other hand. Anyway, love you all. See you on Tuesday. Yeah, a regular is Roy on the...
that little move Miggy did on that sideline. Oh, it was awesome.
Oh, brilliant, wasn't it? That was just absolutely class.
Kind of that much room as well. It was unbelievable.
Yeah. I mean, he's got it in his locker. That's the thing. And it's just
this is why I'm excited to see Longstaff come back, because everything that Eddie's promised has happened in regards to the players with a bit of quality have improved, and he hasn't lied about any potential. He's honest. So I'm kind of intrigued to see some of these players come back, because he's very positive about Longstaff. So maybe there's more in there that we haven't seen. Maybe we can get some of his old performances back.
Indeed. George, thank you for your £5 super chat, mate. He's put a comment saying, sitting eating the remains of my bag of midget gems. Yes, George did have a packet of midget gems today.
I'll send you a text on Wednesday before you set off.
I know. I just need reminders.
I'll send you a list.
Susan, remind me. Danielle, everybody, just let me. Don't forget the midget gems. Susan says, if you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. You can also become a member of the Join the Toon Review family. Indeed. Right. It is now time for the player ratings. Billy, it's your first crack at this on the as the new one of the co-hosts of the Toon Review. So we'll let you start off with Martin Dubravka.
Okay. I don't think he had a lot to do. I thought at times he was ponderous, coming for the ball, throwing the ball out, etc. So an average game for him, I'd give him a 6 out of 10, I think.
6 out of 10.
He was a little nervy in the first 20 minutes, wasn't he? He kept coming to
He
things he wasn't sure.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Alex, you get who do you get today? You can have Matty Target.
That's a tough one. I'm going to give him a 7. I want to give him an 8, but I feel like I'd have to go back and rewatch it, but I feel like he could have done more to stop Perez getting that flick on. So if it wasn't for the goal, I'd have given him an 8, but because of his contribution in the game on the ball, winning the ball back, but because he let that go, I've got to give him a 7. But he had a good game. He's very important to how we play, and he's very solid.
7, I think you're a bit harsh there, Alex. But hey, it's your decision, man. I'll go next, and I'm going with Emil Kraft. First of all, Phil Gow, thank you very much for your £5 super chat. Great shot of Bruno giving his shirt to a young fan. Yeah, we touched on that before. Brilliant. And that young fan will never forget it, just like the one last week when he lifted the ball boy in the air. It was just absolutely fantastic. Emil Kraft, I am giving Emil Kraft a 9 out of 10. I thought he was absolutely superb, and I know I've been one of his biggest critics on this channel and in general. But listen, credit where credit's due, and we're seeing improvement in Emil Kraft every week. And what I'd love to say about Emil Kraft is, he's learned, and he hasn't just put his head down, think, took the huff or whatever. It's his way he gets back now. If he misses a tackle or he's slightly out of position, he gets back really quickly now, and he doesn't he's a lot quicker in his decision making as well. When he goes in to make a tackle as well, he knows when to go in and win the ball, and there is a difference there. And Emil, hats off to you, mate, because you have been criticised in the past, and for me, rightly so. However, we are seeing a different player now, and could that be the manager? But Emil as well, fantastic. So well done, Emil.
Well
Get a 9.
I'd have given him man of the match. If it wasn't for the winning goal, I would have
I think you could be right. Yeah, I don't see any reason why not. But we'll come to that, Alex. Don't jump ahead, please. You know the rules. Anyway, Danielle,
yes.
Fabian Schär.
I'll give him 8. I think he did well today. I liked it. I thought he put a few good balls in. Yeah, I mean, he wasn't prominent in that. I kind of saw a lot of him, but when I did, he was always doing the right stuff. So for me,
7 long balls.
I'm giving him 8.
Yeah. Listen, I thought some of his passing was a little bit off today. I have to say that. But, again,
everybody's passing percentage was down a bit today. Actually, you're right. It was a whole lot.
But defending wise, he was just his usual self. I have no complaints about that rating at all. Right, back to Billy, and you've got Big Dan Byrne.
Yeah, so we had an excellent game, no mistakes as far as I could see. A couple of skew-iffy headers, but still managed to clear the ball whenever he was needed to. Solid 8 out of 10 for me for Dan Byrne. Leadership qualities also.
Super. Ace Geordie says, TV commentator said to Maxi today that when he's running to the goal, he too often takes the scenic route when sometimes the direct route would be better. Possibly, yeah, but that's where he needs to mix his game up a little bit, to be honest. Sorry, Billy, what did you give Dan Byrne there?
8 out of 10.
8, yeah, I'd go with that as well. Right, into midfield, Alex, you get John Joe.
That's a tough one. I want to give him a 7 for his football, but I'm going to give him an 8 because of the leadership qualities as well. Because he's had a poor record in terms of losing his head, getting cards, getting sent off, being stroppy. He has had a record of that in his career. And since he's had this armband on, he's stepped up, and he was brilliant today, as you said, Paul, marshalling people, more vocal. So for his football, 7, but the captaining he did gives him an 8 because he did his job very well today. He couldn't do his passing game, but he did other things and he did them well. So credit for that.
Terraces, thank you for your £5 super sticker. Unfortunately, the super stickers don't come on top of the chat to let me know they've been made, so I have to wait till I get down there. But thank you, Terraces, very kind of you indeed. Right, I'm going to have I'll let Danielle have Bruno, so I'll have Joe Linton, and I'm going to give Joe a 7. I genuinely believe that Joe still has this groin niggle. I don't know what it is, just something in my mind thinking that he's still got that little niggle. And we may well find that he gets a little bit of surgery done in the summer. But he was one of them that just had that sort of game where he didn't do anything wrong. He just had a solid game. What I love about Joe Linton is this, I've said it many times, is this new aggression that he seems to have. He doesn't get pushed around at all. He's in there for his teammates. He's just an all-round top guy, and he looks to be one of them teammates that you love having around. So a 7 for Big Joe.
He's got really good stats, though. I think he
has. I'm
the
not
eye
denying
test
that.
was maybe underwhelming. He got 3 key passes. He was good at knitting things.
Yeah. Knitting. Oh, I didn't think that's a word we hear on the Toon review. But then
I think it's because we're expecting it from him now. So when we do it, it's not as impressive. We're just used to it because he's just so good.
Jim says, was Bruno at your end when he was heartening the crowd at the end of the game? Indeed he was, Jim. Indeed he was. There he is there. He's just a beautiful man, isn't he? He just loves us. And of course, there's the scenes, the winning goal. I mean, look at the limbs in the background, guys. I mean, how anybody still has arms and legs in the same place, I do not know. It just went, the whole ground was like
lovely
that.
to see, isn't it?
Oh, I mean, look at the smiles and the joy on people's faces. I mean, Newcastle United, before the takeover, you would never see fans like that. The whole place is just lifted. It's just lifted, and it's just a fantastic place to be. When we score goals and everything. But what did you give Bruno, Danielle?
10.
A 10. There you go. Had to be. Right, Billy, we come back to you, and we're now up to the front three, I believe, aren't we? So you can have Miggy.
Right. Although there was no end product, I thought his work rate was fantastic as usual. There were a couple of fantastic pieces of skill. I think we'll give Miggy a 7.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I thought he was decent again. I mean, I can't say he had a bad game. The one criticism that I always have of Miggy is I think he's just a bit on the lightweight side of things. When you look at the other players around him,
I thought he improved that today. He
I
won
did.
8 ground duels, 2 tackles, 2 interceptions. I thought he was using his energy in a better way today. He was getting something out.
No,
of it
his game is better. There's no doubt about that. But when you look at him, he just looks so little.
It's when he gets through centre backs, he just crumbles, doesn't he? It's the centre backs. Whenever the centre back touches him, he just dies. But on the wing, he's fine.
You just want to give him a hug, you know what I mean? Just say, Miggy.
Yeah.
He's like your little pet dog. Not that I'm saying Miggy's a dog.
They were whinging about him falling over today as well. A few of the Leicester fans, they weren't.
Oh, piss off!
Over.
Honestly, sod off back to Leicester. Do you know, just go. I mean, I will recover and I will have respect for you again tomorrow. But today, just go back to Leicester.
Fine. And the your shit our chance at the goal kick. I mean, that's 1987 all over again.
Nah, man.
Indeed.
I didn't feel like there were many players falling over today, so I thought that was clutching at straws a little bit, whinging about Miggy.
Desperate, that's what that is.
I thought it was quite a clean game. There wasn't too much. There wasn't too much in the way of officiating decisions. It was quite a flowy game, to be fair.
Yeah,
I thought he refereed really well, to be fair to him.
Yeah. Tom makes a good point. A lot of people had already buggered off when we got the winner. Served them right. Never leave early.
Yeah, they made a point of it on Sky. They were saying,
I don't know what the hell these people do. You know, like it's a Sunday afternoon. It's 3:45 in the afternoon. Surely you're not in a rush to get back to your bingo or whatever it is.
You can't be that desperate for a pint, can you?
Well, no, you just like anything. People should know by now that anything can happen with Newcastle United, whether it be in the last minute or the first minute. You just don't want to miss it. You know what I mean? And for them, they missed an absolutely wonderful moment. Just seeing, Bruno like the Brazilian Concorde, just flying through the air like a falcon, attacking an eagle. I'll go for an eagle. Just an eagle spying that mouse and thinking, right, that's mine. And there he gets the mouse, and the mouse just bounces off the eagle, and it happened to go into the top corner of the net. So there you go. But it's their fault they missed it. John Joe, another £1.79, says, I believe we can take points off Manchester City. Let's just wait and see for that one. We'll not look too far ahead at the moment. Right, where are we up to? I'm going to go for... No, it's your go, Alex. You can have Chris Wood.
That's a tough one. Well, he came off after 60 minutes? So, I want to give him a 6, but I can't. I'm going to have to give him a 7 because so much of what he does is down to his supply and his service, which wasn't there today. So I can't knock him for things he wasn't able to do. He needed a bit more help. He did win a lot of flick-ons today, to be fair. I think his flick-ons for Maxi were a lot better than in recent weeks. Unfortunately, they didn't lead to much, but I'm just going to give him a flat 7 because he didn't do too much wrong. He could do with a lot more service.
I genuinely don't think we could give anybody lower than a 7 today. I genuinely think that.
I didn't like him laying on the ground after that tackle. He got tackled cleanly in the box, and he made a bit of a meal out of that. I just get up and crack on with it. He definitely got the ball there.
Who was that?
Chris Wood got tackled in the box on the left side of it, and I thought it was a bit unnecessary to go down on the floor. Even if it was, it hit his hand as well, which is by default a handball for an attacker. We don't need people going down in the box. If it was a clean tackle, then just crack on.
Definitely. Lee says, good evening all from Cape Town. I will be the first to admit I thought we were down end of the year last year. I'm speechless as what I've seen this year. Love our team. Glad to be eating my words. I think everybody is, to be honest.
Fair enough.
Terry Cook, thanks for the £1.79. Bruno's interview on Sky Sports was class. It was, without a doubt. The amount of English that he's talking already from when he signed is,
Shearer
Luke's,
tweeted him as well, and he said, "Oh, thanks, boss," to Shearer, didn't he?
Yeah,
It was very
thanks,
wholesome.
boss. Yeah.
Oh, that's so cute.
Exactly, Paul. What we've done this season has never been done before. They said we were done, relegated. Indeed, we were down, we were gone. Everybody said that. But you know what? We're not.
I don't think we did. I think we were quite optimistic of a good transfer window to get us out of the mire, and that's what happened.
I wrote an article in December that I showed Paul and Dave before I joined the team. I wrote an article about our chances of staying up, talking about Brighton, Southampton, and this run of form pre-spring. And well, I'll fish it out at the end of the season. We'll pull it out and we'll see how right I was, because there's a few ticks on that list, definitely.
Yeah. Added, you say, Susan, are you Paul's fiance? Yes, she is. I've said that many times. Susan, you're a diamond. Indeed, she is. Congrats all and happy Easter, says Jovin. Thank you very much.
And to you.
Never let them knock you off your path, Paul. Cheers, Andrew. Right, I will go for Mr. St. Maximin, and I'm going to give Maxi an 8. That may surprise people, but what the hell? The bottom line is, I think he did a lot better today. Yes, his finishing was poor. He'll openly admit it was poor. But what we've all discussed earlier on was the hunger was there in Maxi today. Once he was tackling the first half, he stayed down and should have got straight back up and got on with it. But listen, he cut that out for the rest of the game. And he just went, he did things today that excited me. But it was the finishing. The problem is when Maxi does that, and I think, he's at the edge of the box. It's just like 1 in 10. That improves. Maxi is a different player. Simple as that. So he gets an 8. We'll move on to the subs. Danielle, you get who came on first? Well, it was 2, wasn't it? You can have Murphy.
I'd give him a 7.
Yeah.
Hi, Jules.
Yeah, I'd say that. Yeah.
I'd give him a 7.
I think he didn't really get into the game, but like I said, I think it would be harsh to give anyone lower than a 7 today.
I agree.
Even Dwight Gale, who I think should just get a 7 for the sprint onto the pitch that he made. I mean, that was lightning. For the fact that he was only on a couple of minutes, but the pace he showed there coming on the pitch was incredible. It was the other sub that came on, Joe Willock. Billy, you get Willock?
Purely for the involvement in the goal, I'm going to give him an 8. And I think that might have been the only time he touched the ball, but that move he did to get past Tielemans, get himself from the halfway line into the box, get the ball across, although it was deflected. Don't care about the deflection. I'll give him an 8 out of 10 just for that one piece of action that won us the game, really.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're right. It was a brilliant little flick past the player. Forgetting who it was. I think it was their right back, wasn't it? And it just
Tielemans.
What was it? Tielemans, was it? There you go.
Yeah, he couldn't track him. He couldn't keep up with him.
Yeah, well, brilliant. So I'm happy about that. Jim says, Paul, you run the best Toon channel on YouTube. Your humble, genuinely lovely self is what draws us all to your channel. Don't even entertain the trolls. You make all of us members very happy. Thanks, Jim. Really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Who was next? Well, we're not going to. Dwight Gale gets us. We'll just say a 7 for Dwight Gale. Now, Billy, we all have to come to an agreement on the manager, Eddie Howe. So you go first.
I just thought he set the team up to play exactly as we did against Brighton. He let them have the ball in the areas which weren't going to hurt us. We defended where we needed to defend. I thought he set the team up perfectly. So, yeah, solid 9 out of 10 for Eddie Howe today.
Yep. But Alex?
I think it was slightly different to that. I think because he mentioned in his post match that I don't think he was expecting them to have quite as much of the ball. I think he wanted to dominate the midfield a little bit more, but the lads, even though that didn't happen, they knew when to drop into defensive shape and when not to, because they're just being coached better.
Yeah,
and they're making those decisions themselves on the pitch and doing the right things, which isn't technically in-game management, but it is him that's done that. He's coached that into them. So I think the subs were appropriate. He just keep doing this Maxi up front when Woods come off. I'm not sure about that, but yeah, I think an 8's fair. I think he set the team up well. He prepped well. Everybody played well. The subs were okay.
Cool.
Yeah, you can't give him less than an 8.
Okay. New member of the channel, XFC Florida. Now, wasn't there someone else in Florida who kept coming on? I'm not sure if it's the same people, but
was it not CFC Florida?
CFC Florida, that's right. Now, I'm not sure whether these are the same people or just friends of CFC, but who knows? But the new members of the channel. So if you have been, welcome back. Or welcome as a new member. Welcome to the family. Luke says, I can't believe John Sinclair tonight managed to get another young girl to co-host in his channel. He's such a pimp. Yeah, Grace came on tonight, and I thought she did really well. It was her first ever time on YouTube, and I thought she was really good. She made some very interesting points as well. So, listen, it's good to see. It's good to see both male and female coming on with the comments on Newcastle United. I think John subscribes to the fact that he's along the lines of me, where we get all genders on and get their feedback, because I think, it's not just a man's game. It showed at
the ladies
half-time.
came on at half-time, didn't they?
Ladies came on at half-time. I'm going to go to that game. It's only £3 on the 1st of May to go to St James's Park. It's £3 to go and see the women's team. It's a big game against Barnsley because they could win the league. Kids go free. So I think what they're trying to do is break the record for the UK for the size of the crowd. I think it's at about 28,000 at the minute. So I think they're hoping to get over 30,000, and at £3 a ticket or £3 to get in, and then kids for free. It would be fantastic.
Too early for me.
Yeah. It would be fantastic if we can get everybody there cheering the ladies team on. So hats off to them. They've had a very, very good season. And hopefully in the future, this channel might start doing some more on the ladies team as well, because I think the whole brand Newcastle United is only going to get bigger, which is fantastic. Barney Mins, thank you very much for your £10 super sticker. Oh, that's come up at the top, so it must be a certain amount comes up at the top. Thank you very much, Barney. Very, very kind. And, it is CFC Florida. Another $5. But they said, still disgusted with CFC right now. Okay, there you go. Well, enough said. Right, Danielle, Mr. Howe.
I think 8's fair.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, I'd give him 10 every week, wouldn't I? Because I just love him so much.
Yes, that's
but
true.
I think 8's fair based on all of your kind of points. Yeah. I've also got my award to give out as well.
Yeah, don't worry, I haven't forgot the awards. Toon Barmy says over 800 watching, but only just over 200. Right, we've got many more than 200 now, mate. So it's I think we have anyway. But listen, people can press the like, but it's up to them if they want to press. But yeah, we've had a good crowd watching tonight, which is fantastic. I've just seen this from Goatfather. Is Billy the guy we see on the TV in the stands, half naked in Arctic conditions? I know who he means. The guy with, the guy with NUFC tattooed on his stomach. No, it's
I'm
not.
his brother. I'll do the bottom half.
Yeah, there you go. There's your answer, Goatfather. No problem at all. Jesus. Let's move on. Jim says, what a channel. Danielle's baps everywhere and Paul windmilling everywhere. Yeah, I don't think we'd actually do that for real for celebrations, but then again, my watch along.
I've been known to.
That's not something you should be.
Why I don't do watch alongs, to be fair.
Yeah, and I don't think you will in the future. Considering you just admitted that, Danielle.
Yeah, no.
Never mind. What about Mendy's rugby tackle on Joe Linton? Can't remember that one.
And the build up for the goal.
Adam Pearson was mentioning that as well, and I didn't see it properly.
Oh, for the winning goal. Yes, I think the referee, well, he did see it because he played advantage. And hats off to the referee, by the way, because he could have stopped play, but he didn't. And again, that would have ruined the chance of a goal. And I thought the referee did all right today. At least, he overturned his own decision for the goal. He could have been a twat and said no, it was a foul, but he didn't. But he would have looked an idiot because nobody thought it was a foul when they saw it back on the TV. But hey ho, I'm going for 8 for Eddie Howe as well. I think it's a fair score for Eddie. And of course, the Newcastle United fans, as usual, score a 10. So there you have it. Right, we have come to the end of the show, but before we do end, of course, we have our little awards to give out. I am miles and miles behind on the comments. I do apologize. But listen, when you've got over 800 people watching, it is very, very difficult to keep up with any with all the comments. It is very tough. But we got another 179 there from John Joe. John is converting Man United fans into Toon fans. If he is, then hats off to him. And we have another new member, Darren. Welcome to the Toon Review, Darren. Nice to have you here, my man. And yeah, so wow. I think Adam Pearson deserves credit for his promotion to the women's. Indeed. Yeah, he does
Absolutely.
a fantastic job, Adam does. And hats off to him for doing that. So, yeah, brilliant. Right. Okay, right. We've Billy, as you're new on these to the channel, well, new as a host, but what we do is we give out special awards every week. There's the Alex Award, Danielle Award, my award, and now we're going to have a Billy Award, just for somebody on the not necessarily man of the match, just necessarily an award for doing something really special or overcoming something and things like that within the team. So we'll let you have a think about it. Danielle, you can give us your award.
Yeah, so my award isn't for anybody actually on the pitch today.
Oh.
My award is for somebody who was a vision in yellow today.
Amanda Stavely.
Yes. What a beautiful! She looked absolutely beautiful today. Yeah. I just thought, wow, and Merdad and Jamie, I just thought.
I tell you what, though, Jamie Rubin's been gifted with some rugged looks, hasn't he? I mean, God.
Yeah.
I mean even the men go into a sweat when he's around them. You know what I mean? He comes to the food bank before a game, and you can see everybody's like, oh.
Yeah, absolutely. But no, I think Amanda looked absolutely stunning today.
She did, and she stood out a mile, by the way, because we could see her in the Leazer's end, and she was the only one in a bright. It was a yellow dress, I think she was wearing, wasn't it?
Very fitting for Easter.
And you know what? Hats off to her, because she gets a lot of stick off the Mackhams and all of that for her looks and stuff. But she's genuinely a beautiful woman inside and out. What she's
and let's remember what she's done for this club.
Exactly, so, and not just that, but the ladies team manager mentioned her at halftime as well. Just that they were amazed just how down to earth she is. Just they felt like she was just one of the girls when she goes to see them quite often, which is absolutely fantastic. Those two, Merdad and Amanda, are just a wonderful, wonderful couple who are genuinely nice people as well. You know, you won't hear bad words said about them from anybody, and even in the business world. I'm not just talking about Newcastle fans, but there you go. That is a lovely award to give out, Danielle. Pen 10, thank you for your £10 super sticker, my man. Very, very kind. And another member of the channel, Phil Gow. I'm not sure whether that is a renewal or a new member, but thank you very much. I wish it would tell me, but it doesn't. But thank you for your membership. It really does mean a lot. Let's see, anything else here to go through quickly. Cesare says, I think the Danielle Award should go to VAR for making the ref go see the screen for the first goal, which was disallowed at first. Yeah, but I think she's right. Alex, who's your award going to this week?
So the obvious one would be Bruno, but I think he's man of the match anyway. So the stat award's going to go to Miggy for improvements in parts of his game.
Right.
So it's seemingly not just energy anymore. He's using it to do things on the ball, off the ball. 2 tackles, 2 interceptions. He's done a few pretty pieces of skill every time he's been on the pitch recently in multiple matches. It's not just been a match. Yep. He's got some of that technique back. He won 8 ground duels. He put himself about very, very well. And not only that, he completed 4 out of 5 dribbles as well. So he wasn't just running and falling over. 4 completed dribbles for Miggy is very, very good in the Premier League.
Yep.
So if we can get something like that and build on it, you never know, because we do need people in the squad. So, I mean, again, he's South American, difficult for the quotas, but he's improved a lot in recent weeks. So we'll see what we can get out of some of these fringe lads in the last final games of the season. Because it looks like a few of these players really want to stay. They're improving. They're enjoying it. It's going to be a fight.
Awesome. Dude agrees with you, Alex. Here. Well said, Stat ORE Miggy. Big Scott says Amanda gets stick from the Mackhams. Really can't call anyone when they have webbed toes or and 5 fingers and a thumb. Omar says, Paul, you talk so much sense, my friend. I remember when you kept saying, give Eddie time. He will guide us through. You're an absolute legend. Love this channel plus the team. Thanks very much, Omar. Very kind. And another £4.49 from John Joe. Can someone give an award to Mad Dog Tyndall, the unsung hero?
Absolutely.
I tell you what,
I think I gave him the Danielle Award a few weeks ago.
I think you did, yes.
I'd love some broadcaster to get hold of him, because I'd love to see what his contribution is, what he's like, personality, have him talk about his role in training, because we don't really know. It'd be really interesting if we could get some insights into Tyndall, because all we see is Eddie Howe. So
Danielle's on it. Anyway, Billy, who's your award going to? We're going to call Billy's award the Harley Award.
Yes.
Being the fake biker that Susan's made him into. I mean, Billy, do you actually ride a bike?
There's no bike built that can take my weight, mate. Mine's going to go to a much maligned player that's come on leaps and bounds in the past 6-7 weeks, and I thought he was absolutely outstanding today. Swedish Cafu actually turned into the Swedish Cafu today. Emil Kraft, absolutely phenomenal performance.
Yeah,
right back.
Undoubtedly. He's got mine as well, funny enough.
Well deserved.
Emil Kraft has got 2 special awards this week, both from me and Billy, because I was exactly the same as you, Billy. I think he's overcome a lot of obstacles, and I think he's a credit to him. He's wanting to learn and he's wanting to get better. He could say, "Well, I'm a Swedish international. I'm at the top of my game," but he doesn't, and I'm really, really happy for him. So, there you go. And Ben says he's the Swedish Lilium Thuram. So there you go.
High praise.
If Trippier can teach him how to pass, then we've got a cracking backup right back, haven't we?
Yep, undoubtedly. But guys, that is the end of the show tonight. Now, tomorrow night, Alex, I know that we had a lone one. We've got a good show planned, but it will have to be next week, because tomorrow night we are doing the match review, because we always do the match review 48 to 72 hours away from the game. So we'll be back tomorrow night previewing it, which means Alex has to do more graphics. So that will be at 8 o'clock tomorrow night. With Danielle, you're available this week, aren't you?
Yes, I am.
Wow. There you go. So we'll be the 4 of us back at 8 o'clock tomorrow night with the match preview for the game. We look ahead to it, see what the possible lineup will be, see how Palace may line up, and we'll do sort of Alex will have his tactics board out and stuff like that.
I've already done it, to be fair.
Oh, well, there you go. He's already way ahead of the game. So there you go. So join us tomorrow night at 8 o'clock for that. Fan forum will be at 8:30 on Tuesday night, which will be a good fan forum, because we can look back at the game today, and we can also look ahead to the Palace game, the next day from the fan forum. So that will be fantastic. We will do a review of the match on Thursday night. I will be putting all these onto YouTube at some point when I get 2 minutes to breathe. So the review from Wednesday's match will be on Thursday night, but there will be an instant reaction video done straight after the game. So thank you very much for joining us tonight. Thank you for all your super chats. Absolute incredible generosity from all you guys again. Absolute legends. If you have enjoyed the show, don't forget to hit the like button, the thumbs up, and tell YouTube what a fantastic channel this is. And if you're new, please do consider subscribing and hit the notification bell so you know when we upload or record. And obviously, you can become a member of the Toon Review. Hit the join button just under the video, or copy and paste the link into whatever browser you're using, and that'll take you through to the join method there. So thank you in advance for that. And of course, to Geordie Riffs, our sponsors, premium guitar lessons for beginners and children based here in the Northeast. Guitar repairs and servicing, you get 10% off your first one of each. They're also offering your first guitar lesson free of charge, and they do have a recording studio if you're into your guitars and want to get something recorded. Find them at geordieriffs.co.uk, at Geordie Riffs on Instagram, and at Geordie Riffs Official on Facebook. Graham and Natalie will be glad to help you with any of your guitar needs. Thank you three, for coming on tonight, and we'll see you in a very quick turnaround tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. Of course, 9 o'clock Alex's time over in Polska. and then the fan forum on Tuesday night. Thank you to the mods backstage for all your hard work again tonight, keeping the chat nice and clean. And to everybody that's watched and commented, thank you so much for your input again tonight. We hope you enjoyed the show, and obviously we hope to see you back tomorrow night as well for the preview, and tell us what you think might happen in the Palace game. But until then, folks, have a great night. Have a great rest of your night, I should say. It's after 10 o'clock now. Didn't even realise. But there you go. Be kind. Keep smiling, guys. Stay safe and take care. Good night.
How are the lads?
Indeed.